So when something fails, it doesn't necessarily mean that the traffic campaign sucked. It doesn't mean that the copy was bad. It doesn't mean the offer was horrible. Sometimes at the very root of it is basically just what was the opportunity that was promised behind it that wasn't figured out just yet. So this is a small tweak that makes a huge difference in the outcome and conversion of it all. You see, when somebody is not registering for the event, it doesn't mean that the event is bad. It doesn't mean that the copy or the graphics wasn't good. It doesn't mean that your tracking was the problem. The first thing was just, how did I make this thing a new opportunity where a person was going, oh, I can see why people failed all this while, but why I'm going to succeed this time because this thing is different.
If you to ask any marketer, what do you think is the most important thing that makes an offer great? You're gonna have all type of answers. Some people will say, well, it's a stack, well, it's the value, well, it's the copy, well, it's your languaging, it's the rapport that you build with your audience. It is basically what's included as a done with you, what's done for you. How do you have a risk reversal? Now, all these things, sure, they play a part, but today in this video, I'm gonna be taking you behind the scenes to a coaching call that I recently did to show you exactly why most marketers, when it comes to offers, why they have it wrong, and what's the real way and the right way to do it. Let's begin.
Let's take a look at some of your submissions. Okay, first person we have up today is, we have Karms. Welcome, Karms. It's been a while since you were on. Karms, let's start off with quick introduction.
I'm helping aspiring entrepreneur start their business because a lot of people look at me and they want to reach that goal. They're like, how are you doing that? So I have this 5-day challenge coming up to help them do that.
Okay, and what would you like to get out of today's call that you feel will help you move forward?
I have been on a lot of these calls and I have not been doing the ads, or at least not getting them right. And for the first time, I think I finally got the pixels in the right places to track them. And I try to implement called the purchase campaign or the conversion campaign instead of like a traffic campaign to try and find that first purchase, but I'm not able to get that. I have people signing up, but they are not through ads. They're just purely my organic leads. And I want to be able to scale to get cold audience.
Okay, so it's basically making your traffic strategy work for an upcoming event that you are doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the things that you have submitted. Okay, so you're running a 5-day challenge. It's $45 model of Future of AI Summit funnel. We'll take a look at your ads. You spend $150 in ads and the link is over here. We'll take a look. Okay, so it's called Ideas to Income Challenge. And this would be the funnel model of Future of AI. So the layout's like this, and then talk about the 5-day event, which I'm guessing is the virtual event. And now it's for $47, and then they click on this, they can register. Okay, so right after this point, you have spent $150 and you've gotten no sales yet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and I can see that this is the ad you use that says monetize your idea for launching a successful coaching business. Okay, so let's take a look at the landing page and see what the lowest hanging fruit is that you should be working on. All right, so save the date, ideal income, attention, dreamer, coaches, entrepreneurs, fortune for favors the brave, the online education revolution. Will you lead or lag behind? Which will you choose? Okay, the idea is waiting and it's yours for the taking. Okay, all right, so based on this, I'm going to start off with a few different initial thoughts, and then I would like you guys to think about what we should be working on, just based on this. Okay, so whenever I think about a new offer, the first thing that comes to mind, typically, before I even think about the offer, right, even though offer is the first thing, to reach the offer, I'm always asking myself, what is the new opportunity? Okay. What is the thing that I'm saying right now that makes a person go, oh, wow, I've never thought of it like that. Oh, wow, that's new. Oh, wow, I know I need to be on this. Okay. Now, here's the reason why the new opportunity is so important before you even think about the offer. Now, notice how right now at this juncture, I haven't even looked at the traffic campaigns yet or even listened to the landing page video. It is because when I land on a page and I see idea to income challenge, and from that quick scroll, the first thing that's going in my mind is I want to think about is, well, how does this differentiate or change and separate my offer out from every other training or course out there that is about, here's how I can help you monetize what you know. Here's how you can monetize your passion. Here's how you can take your, what's in your mind and turn it into income, right? What's the new opportunity? Because the thing is, if you think about the amount of coaches out there that coaches people on how you can monetize by being a coach or course, there really is an ocean of people out there that says the same thing. So while Ideas to Income is I think it's a great name and title for a challenge, you want to think about when it comes to coming up with a big idea, this means like the new opportunity needs to be a unique mechanism. Now, let me explain what a unique mechanism means. Okay. In every market, we got to be very clear on what stage of market sophistication we are at. Now, what do I mean by market sophistication? So you think about it this way. Let's go back in time. Okay, let's go back to the 70s, a time where I wasn't born yet. Okay, now I'm guessing, if I were to speculate, if you were born in the 70s and if you saw an infomercial that said, hey, did you know that if you take this pill, you can lose weight? People will be like, oh, wow, that's amazing. I can take a pill and lose weight. That's amazing. Where do I get this from? Now, typically, what will happen is this is the first mover. And the first mover either will make tons of money or the idea falls flat on his face because it was a horrible idea to begin with. But one of these two things will happen, right? So first mover's advantage, the person that said, if you take this pill, you lose weight. Then what happens is other people is going to see this marketer making a bunch of money, and then they are going to come in and say, hey, you know what? We should do the same thing. Now, what typically happens in the next stage of messaging is they make bigger claims. So they'll say things like, if you take this pill, you lose weight in 60 days. The next person comes along and says, if you take this pill, and then now this person, because he's making a bigger claim, he starts making more money because he has got this bigger claim. Then this person sees this person running an infomercial and says, if you take this pill, you lose weight in 60 days. Oh, you know what? Let's make our version of infomercial. If you take this pill, you lose weight in 45 days. And the next person comes along and says, if you take this pill, you lose weight in 30 days. Now, you reach a point in time where making bigger and bigger claims, where somebody says, if you take this pill, you start losing weight in the next 7 minutes. Now, that's when somebody is going to go, oh, wait a second, that sounds ridiculous. Oh, wait a second, that sounds really dodgy. That sounds really dangerous, right? So bigger and bigger claims would work up to a certain point where it reaches diminishing returns, and then after that, it works against you, okay? But that's typically the next stage of evolution in every type of offer, or what's the new opportunity, okay? So the third stage of every market after that is when somebody would try to create a new opportunity within the market, okay? So since we're sticking into weight loss, or utilizing weight loss as an example, that's when people go, okay, well, did you know that you could lose weight if you just ate pure protein, right? Maybe then there was the Atkins diet. And then after that, there was whatever. Have you ever wondered why, if you took a look at pictures of cavemen, they all, during the Paleolithic times, they all seem really strong and mean looking, and there wasn't a problem of obesity. And that's because when we were living in the Paleolithic times, cavemen didn't have McDonald's or burgers or fries. Therefore, if you ate what it is that cavemen used to eat, you'll be able to have the same results like they had. So that's when, the Paleolithic diet came along, right? And Paleolithic diet, supplements was big, right? So this was like 15 years ago, especially during, when CrossFit was a thing. Then after that, came from an angle of, have you ever wondered why, if you take a look at the strongest animals, like gorillas, have you wondered what it is that they eat? Right? Do you realize that gorillas don't eat meat? What do they eat? They eat, just greens, right? Now, whatever, right? So now it's like there's marketers are always innovating, and even though it's weight loss, and the claim is still the same thing. What's the claim? Lose weight. But the thing that they're always changing is the opportunity to do it. Now, why is that important? It is because whenever we think about this result, the first thing that comes to mind, if you've heard of it before, is, oh, I've heard about it before, and here's why it doesn't work, right? It's always going to be, oh, weight loss. Oh, yeah. Losing weight through pills. Yeah. I've heard of it. Here's why it doesn't work. Oh, losing weight through just drinking and eating greens and eating salad. Yeah, I've heard of it, but here's why it doesn't work. However, when there's a new opportunity for a person, they don't have a benchmark on something to compare with. And when you've got no benchmark to compare with something, then they're going, oh, wow. And that's why I haven't gotten this result before. I haven't gotten this result before because I haven't tried this thing before. So an example would be, many years ago, I wanted to gain weight really badly. And a friend of mine told me that one of the best ways to gain weight is to drink a gallon of milk a day. And this is known as the GOMAD diet. It's literally a real term. GOMAD is gallon of milk a day. So what I did was, I was like, oh, really? He said, yeah. And I said, I love drinking milk. Okay. So all I'm gonna do is just drink a gallon of milk a day. And he said, yeah. And to me, in my mind, this is amazing because I've never tried this before. Right? So new opportunity. So what did I do? I literally, almost wasn't exactly a gallon, but I drank like a lot of milk a day, right? Now, let's just say I just, gained a kind of bad weight. It was all around the gut, So did I gain weight? Yeah, but it was, kind of bad weight. Now that to me is, still it's new opportunity. So what does this have to do with us as marketers? Us as marketers, we got to be very clear in terms of in our market, where is the evolution of the messaging in our space, right? Because if you are in the weight loss market right now, you could have the best ads, you could have the tracking in place, you could have good, funny, compelling copy, you could have a great offer. But if the opportunity itself isn't that exciting and isn't exactly a new opportunity, it doesn't matter how good the ad tracking is or how good compelling the landing page is. So I'd like you to think about how can we come up with a unique mechanism? A unique mechanism could be, I want you to imagine if you said, so if you are a coach and you've tried creating a course before and you failed, or you've heard of somebody who wanted to monetize what it is that they knew, but it didn't work out for them. The reason why it didn't work out is because of fill in the blank. Now I'd like you to think about what that fill in the blank would be for you. So it could be, so you might have heard people talking about all these, different opportunities to create a course, a product, sell your knowledge online. And you might have tried it yourself, or maybe you know of somebody who tried it and then they failed. And the truth is, most people in this market who try to monetize what they know end up failing. And the reason for that is because you could have knowledge or expertise in that specific skill set, but if you don't know how to market it or sell it, by understanding the psychology of why people buy, it doesn't matter how knowledgeable you are in that specific skill set. So in other words, in order to do well in this, you gotta not just understand what it is that you want to be able to sell, but you gotta be able to understand psychology and persuasion, utilizing NLP and merging these two ingredients together. That is going to be the key to whether you become an average coach, which is what most people are, that ends up earning not much, or world-class coaches. And you take a look at world-class coaches, whether it's Tony Robbins, whether it's any speaker or trainer or thought leader that you look up to, you know what's the one thing that they all have in common? They've all understood and mastered psychology and human wants and desires by understanding NLP. So if you've tried to become a coach and you've failed up to this point, it's not your fault because you've never really took the time to understand how to merge these two things together. And at the same time, there are a lot of NLP courses out there that just talks about the theory of it all without its actual application in the coaching world. But when you merge these two things together, that's when magic happens. But you see the difference here? The difference now, it's not the promise. It's not just, here's how you can monetize what you know, right? I'm coming from this unique mechanism where a person's going, oh man, that makes sense now. No wonder I haven't had success, right? So now I could do this for different markets. I want to be able to use a few different examples so that you guys can see the application of this, right? Now, this could be for finance, investing, property, right? This could be like, so does that mean, okay, so if you think about property, now it's like in property, the first person said, did you know that you can invest and buy property with no money down? You know, most investors would be like, yeah, I've heard of that before, right? But here's why it doesn't work. So now, if I wanted to have some sort of unique mechanism in the real estate market, it could be something like, so when it comes to real estate, here's the traditional way of thinking about real estate. Most people would try to increase their portfolio size by utilizing leverage, by understanding how to take more loans from the bank and utilize that to expand their portfolio by using other people's money. While this has worked for a really long time, here's why this would not be optimal in today's market. And what if I told you that the key to real estate moving forward is not about owning more property, but rather controlling them? Now you could be going, what does that mean? What's the difference between owning property and controlling? Well, if you take a look at Facebook, Facebook is the largest social media site and company in the world, but they don't own any of the content on it. What are they doing? They control it. If you take a look at Uber, they might be the largest transport company in the world, but they don't own any cars. They merely control it. Now, what does this have to do with real estate? This means that if you want to expand your portfolio, it's not about just owning more property, but understanding how to control it. What does that mean? What if the key to expanding your portfolio was in controlling properties using Airbnb, where you're not the owner, so that you don't have to deal with the cumbersome paperwork that comes with it, the bank valuation, the loans, where you have the owner deal with all of that, but you merely control it, and to be the person that deals with the owner as well as connecting with the tenant, so that you get the best of both worlds. So that you don't need to be able to take on more loan under your name, but to be able to have the benefit of having a tenant pay you for the property without you owning it, right? So notice what I'm doing. I'm coming up with a new opportunity in the real estate market, and now I'm making a person go be excited about it, rather than just saying, here's how you can become a property millionaire, right? Because that's what everybody else is saying. Everybody else is saying, here's how you can make millions in the real estate market. So when something fails, it doesn't necessarily mean that the traffic campaign sucked. It doesn't mean that the copy was bad. It doesn't mean the offer was horrible. Sometimes at the very root of it is basically just what was the opportunity that was promised behind it that wasn't figured out just yet. So this is a small tweak that makes a huge difference in the outcome and conversion of it all. You see, when somebody is not registering for an event, it doesn't mean that the event is bad. It doesn't mean that the copy or the graphics wasn't good. It doesn't mean that your tracking was the problem. The first thing was just, how did I make this thing a new opportunity where a person was going, oh, I can see why people failed all this while, but why I'm going to succeed this time, because this thing is different.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes to this coaching call. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit. And to subscribe to this channel if you want to be notified of future videos just like this one. Now, some of you asking me, how can I be part of this process? How can I ask you questions? How can I have you coach me or mentor me? We want to make sure that we are working with the people that's the right fit. You'll need to fill up a form. There's a link right below this video. Somebody on my team might give you a call to interview you to see if they're right fit for each other. And if you want to apply and see if you're a good fit, then all you need to do is click on this link in the description box below, and my team will be in touch with you.